Rama asked, "Holy sage, how does the unreal world exist in the absolute Brahman? Can snow exist in the sun?" This is a question Rama keeps coming back to. And you can imagine at the time when the Yoga Vasistha was written that this was a hot topic of debate. The problem really is, how does this physical world arise from consciousness, from the insubstantial? How does this substantial physical world arise from the insubstantial world? And this problem because of our assumptions about the nature of the world as physical, as substantial, as inert, as separate, as something out there, as opposed to us in here, wandering around out there. So can snow exist in the sun? The snow and the sun are two completely separate notions, and so are Brahman and the world. Vasishta said, "Rama, this is not the right time for you to ask this question, for you will not be able to comprehend the answer now. Love stories are uninteresting to a little boy. Every tree bears its fruit in due season, and my instruction will also bear fruit in good time. If you seek yourself with the self by your own self-effort, then you will clearly find the answer in your question." So you really need to look to yourself. You need to look to your understanding of yourself. If you seek yourself with the self by your own self-effort, and this is turning the attention to the attention. This is your ultimate responsibility. And then the Yoga Vasistha will begin to make sense. I discussed the question of doership and non-doership in order that the nature of the mental conditioning or ideation may become evident. Doership, non-doership, body, external world, or self and external world, all these categories are existence, non-existence, real, unreal. These categories, these dualities can be explored. And when we explore them, we find that they are no more than notions. They don't seem to, you can only explore things so far until they fall apart, until their provisional nature becomes apparent. And that's part of the techniques, that's one of the techniques of the Yoga Vasistha. In the previous chapter we were talking about how you can be the omnipresent being that does nothing, or you can be the doer of all actions. So exploring doership and non-doership is one way of exploring this. Bondage is bondage to these thoughts and notions. Freedom is freedom from them. We're on an ocean of notions, and we want to navigate across that onto land free of notions. Give up all notions, even those of liberation, first by the cultivation of good relationships like friendship. Give up tendencies and notions which are gross and materialistic. Later, give up even such notions as friendship, even though continuing to be friendly, etc. Give up all desires and contemplate the nature, or notion, of cosmic consciousness. Even this is within the realm of ideation or thought. It's part of the cognitive process. Hence, give up this in due course. Rest in what remains after all these have been given up. And renounce the renouncer of these notions. Yeah, you can easily get into the idea of, oh, I'm giving up everything, I'm giving up. Yes, Guru Gillis is right here. We must give up all notions. And you start identifying yourself. It's very subtle. You start identifying yourself as somebody that's not getting caught up in that notion and all the rest of it. But you need to give that. It's like onion skins, layers of onions. There's layers within layers. It's extremely subtle, and you must keep exercising awareness here without judging, because that judging is also a notion in accordance with notions. When even the notion of the ego sense has ceased, you will be like the infinite space. He who has thus renounced everything from his heart, he indeed is the Supreme Lord, whether he continues to live an active life or whether he rests in contemplation all the time. To him neither action nor inaction is of any use. O Ram, I have examined all the scriptures and investigated the truth. There is no salvation without the total renunciation of all notions or ideas or mental conditioning. I'm not sure that many scriptures do talk about this, but perhaps Vasishta has access to better quality scriptures than we do in the West. The world of diverse names and forms is composed of the desirable and the undesirable. For these people strive, but for self-knowledge no one strives. Rare are the sages of self-knowledge in the three worlds. One may be an emperor of the world or the king of heaven, but all these are only composed of the five elements. It is a pity that people indulge in such colossal destruction of life for these petty gains. Shame on them. None of these engages the attention of the sage because he is equipped with self-knowledge. He is established in that supreme seat to which the sun and moon have no access. And here the translator is suggesting that this refers to the Susumna. I think the sun and moon refer to the main channels of psychic energy, and the Susumna is the central one. But I think the sun and moon can just be understood as duality. And the sage is one that's transcended duality. Hence the sage of self-knowledge is not enamoured of the gains or the pleasures of the entire universe. The sage is not being taken in by the great delusion.